It must have been tough though. Obviously, you've had the number 2 shirt for 3 or 4 years, and then you see Trent Alexander come through, Wan-Bissaka, Reece James, Maitland-Niles, this Lamptey from Brighton. Now it seems like every player coming through is a right back. How does that make you feel? Like,
yeah, it's typical. I find it typical because, I mean, when I broke in, I was 19 or 20, and I was at Villa. So above me was Glenn Johnson.
yeah,
It took me ages to move in.
yeah,
Obviously, very, very good right back. And by merit, he was definitely the first choice. But I joined in Capello's era. So then John Stones was playing right back for a few games. I'm thinking, well, what am I doing wrong here? What am I doing wrong? But then I got my chance and I kind of held down the shirt for a little bit. But as you say, the vast majority of people that are coming through now are right back. So it's just, you just got to keep working hard, Walks, and, keep putting, the shifting as you do for Man City, and hopefully that'll be enough.
Kyle, how different is it playing right back to playing on the right of the three as you did in the World Cup, didn't you?
No, I think I was very open with what I've said, in the media, that I would have loved to have gone to the World Cup and played at a right back or as a right wing back and, put myself against the best players in the world. But to help your country out, I feel the position that I was playing in at Man City at the time in the first season probably gave me the experience and the knowledge to go and play in that right centre of the three. So, I mean, I enjoyed it. I just wish that I probably experienced what everything was happening here, because we were such in a bubble over there. But it was a great experience, and to get to a semi-final for England, it was good. But I believe with the squad and the players that we've got coming through, just as Andros has just said there, that we can go on and do bigger and better things.
Walks, there's not many centre-backs coming through if you want to change your mind on that one.
I'm 30 now, mate, so I'm thinking to myself, I might have to just tuck inside a little bit. Just need someone big next to me who can go and edit, and I'll just sweep through.
It is amazing, Carl, as it should be in football and every sport. You look at your squad who reached the World Cup semi-final, you think, they'll be around for ages, X, Y, and Z. And then you go on 2 years, and you think, wow, there's a whole group more players. Some players in that squad have lost form a little bit as well. And you realise, I don't need to tell you this, it is such a changing squad, isn't it? Such a state of flux, if you like, in a good way, because there's so much competition for places that you cannot take anything for granted with the amount of.
No, I think that's it. You've probably hit the nail on the head there, that you kind of think, well, I'm doing well, and next tournament I'll be here still. But the amount of players that, the youth teams in the England setup are bringing through now, and that managers are finally probably giving the young English lads a chance in the Premier League, is paying off for English football, I believe. Just the amount of... I'm the oldest one here now. So it's incredible. I'm the oldest one. So at 30, I'm the oldest one. Normally you get, you might get a few 32s, 33 years olds that are hanging on. But, it's great. I think we've got a good chemistry here now. Everyone joins in with each other. And I think we're in the right step for hopefully something big.
Yeah, because the stories, certainly, if you go back to the golden generation, were a Chelsea table, a Liverpool table, a Man United table. And I'm sure, obviously they're all very proud to play for England. But even if you have subconsciously those divides, at moments of great stress, which you're always going to have in any international, you wonder, whether that cohesiveness can actually really be there. But it sounds from what you've said, and you all said during Russia as well, that very much is the case, Carl.
No, most definitely. I think Russia was kind of the building the foundations as much as it was a massive tournament, playing in a World Cup for your country. I think we kind of built the foundations in Russia, where we were spending so much time together, obviously gone a long way in the tournament. And I mean, people started leaving the rooms open at the end of it, and everyone was just walking into each other's rooms, having a chat, and then you go back to your room. Obviously, I think it's down to Gareth. The gaffer's made a big step in the right direction off the field, not just on the field, with getting everyone together. And it kind of feels like club football a little bit, like you're just one team that you see each other, obviously, for a period of days, and you're not thinking, now, can't wait for this international break to be over.
Yeah. Walks, before COVID, were you guys still doing all your team building exercises of an evening? Or was that?
I haven't been here since COVID, mate, if I'm being honest with you. So I'd be lying if I told you. 16 months ago, we was doing it, mate. But, I mean, prior to these 16 months, I couldn't tell you a thing.
I mean, it's, with the calendar and with the COVID as it is, and I'm thinking actually of your age, Carl, I'll be blunt here. You're 30, you must be thinking, if I can have a really good 3 years here now, I've got a Euros, obviously delayed, and then there's a World Cup, which is at Christmas. It's a bit odd. So there's a lot for you to keep driving on towards, isn't there? In terms
You're giving him
of
3 years, Mark.
Yeah, well, I'm a gentleman. I'm giving him 3 years minimum, yeah. But there's a lot to drive on towards, isn't there, in terms of a couple of major tournaments?
No, do you know, I feel fit. I feel really fit. It's probably been one of my big games, my stamina and getting up and down the field. But, you know, I feel really good. So, I mean, definitely, I'm hoping 3 years. I'm hoping for a little bit longer. But with, as we just said there, with the competition that's coming through, it's going to be tough. It's not going to be an easy task. But it's something that I'm definitely up for. I mean, I don't want to come out here and say, I'm going to retire in 4 years. You know, Andros would probably can say the same thing, that you'll keep going until your legs can't go anymore. And that's just how I love the game of football. And I'm not just saying that because you're here or Andros. Like, I couldn't do anything else. So if I don't do football, I'm kind of paddling up the wrong way, really. So So I've just got to go until my legs, pack up on me.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to ask you, Kyle, it does seem as if Gareth Southgate, I don't know, did he sit you all down and remind you of your responsibilities with COVID, with what happened, obviously, with Tammy Abraham's surprise party, and obviously we know what happened with Mason Greenwood and Phil Foden. Has he I think that's the best way of putting it. Has he reminded you of your responsibilities?
Listen, he's reminded us. We've had a meeting last night and he's talked about, our roles and responsibilities, not just on the field, but off the field. Obviously, we're in a difficult period for everyone. But it's something that us as, representing England, we have to take that on our shoulders and take the burden for that. And we should know what's right and what's wrong. But I feel that also, people do make mistakes. I think I've seen Paul Scholes say something that, people should be judged on the field rather than off the field. Off the field does play a big role in it, but we need our best players to play for England. And, Mason Greenwood, Phil Foden, Jadon Sancho, Tammy Abraham, Ben Chilwell, they're all fantastic, top quality players that are playing for big teams. So for us to do well at tournaments, we need all our good players and all our best players in a team.
And there is that extra level of scrutiny that you have to get used to when you're playing for England. You were playing for Tottenham and Manchester City, Andros, you were playing for Tottenham, but then you're playing for England. It does go up another level, doesn't it? I mean, it's as simple as that, because everybody else would love to play for England. Simple as that.
It's part of life. I think you deal with it from when you break into the team, or even when you go out on loan and you go to lower league teams. It's all about learning and building with that. Now, obviously, putting on an England shirt and being an England international comes with extra pressure, but it's something that you should relish, something that you should be proud of and embrace, really. And I just think, for me personally, is that, we should all just get behind each other. I think the media and everyone was so positive going out to Russia, and that's what probably got us to where we got to. Okay, we played some good football in times, but I think the backing of the nation and the media probably pushed us on that little bit further.
What I will add to that is, if you look at Greenwood, Foden, Tammy Abraham, they're all young players. I don't think they really understood the scrutiny it does add when you do pull on the three-line shirt. So I think they'll learn from those mistakes and definitely realise how tough it is once you put on an England shirt.